Visionary inventor Alexander Graham Bell formed the Aerial Experiment Association. These were the two Canadian members of his team, Casey Baldwin and J.A.D. McCurdy. Using Bell's summer home near the hamlet of Baddeck in Nova Scotia as a base, McCurdy made the first Canadian airplane flight in the Silver Dart on the 23rd of February, 1909.
This may seem to be a small matter at present, but when flying machines have become common and aerial locomotion a well-organized and established mode of transit, the origin of the art in Canada will become a matter of great historical interest.
By 1909, we had our first formal aviation policy. The Department of Militia and Defense would support experiments in aerial navigation by providing men and equipment, but regretfully, no financial assistance could be given. Baldwin and McCurdy were invited up to Petawawa for the summer to conduct trials with their two flying machines, as long as they didn't interfere with the artillery ranges. Militia headquarters approved the expenditure of $5 for materials to build a primitive shelter for the aircraft. The flights were not an unqualified success. In front of high-ranking observers, the Silver Dart lifted into the air 3 times, just the latest in over 300 flights. But it crashed on the 4th, never to fly again. Now it was the turn of Baddeck 1. The aircraft was rolled out at dawn the next day for its second flight. With McCurdy at the controls, it took off and flew fine for 100 yards or so, but suddenly it nosed up, stalled, and crashed. That was it for the Baddeck 1. Undaunted, the two flyers returned to Nova Scotia, where they continued development on the imaginatively named Baddeck 2. By November of the year 09, they had made more than 50 flights in it. In March of the following year, when Brador Lake was still frozen, the militia department sent a Major G.S. Monsell to observe the goings-on and report on progress. In fact, McCurdy took Monsell as a passenger on 2 of them, and thus the Major became the first Canadian officer to fly in a heavier-than-air machine while on duty, the first of many. He subsequently tried to persuade the government to support the two flyers financially so that they could continue their experiments, but he was unsuccessful. In 1910, Baldwin and McCurdy closed down their operations for good.